from 15 feet away in your periphery. You don't even need your periphery. You see a missing grate and Cage's plump fingers holding on to the thing.
Right. Now, I'm going to say this, Mark, because I don't know the man. I don't know him. But I love Eccleston. Ninth Doctor is fantastic. Big fan of his work there. But he was vocally not happy with Thor: The Dark World.
That's fair.
He was, and that's fair. It didn't end well with Doctor Who. Am I correct in saying that, as far as I understand?
Creative differences.
So he's a guy who has a bit of a track record of not loving things he's done.
Yes.
Do you think he looks back fondly on Gone in 60 Seconds? And do you think he, at the end of production, he's like, listen, I've made some compromises for this movie. If you're gonna kill me, I gotta do the Hans Gruber. I gotta do the Gruber.
And get a bullet off. Yeah.
Because I watched that and I was like, oh, he is just pulling a Gruber right now.
Okay. Yes, I think he said that. This role is so incredibly underwritten that you need to give me something to do. But if we look at his career, he had done Shallow Grave in 94, which was his calling card. Then he did Cracker, Hearts and Minds. He did Our Friends in the North. Then he did Jude. Then he did Elizabeth, which was a big role. Then he did Existence. But then he had a couple...
Existence.
Oh, Existence. Good call. And then he had Gone in 60 Seconds, but then he just sort of... He had he was in, Othello, The Others. He didn't have that big 24-hour party people.
Yeah.
This movie, though, does he regret it? It's a nothing character, but it's a Nick Cage film in 2000.
Yeah, I think this is his most visible movie.
Yeah.
Now, I know probably Thor: The Dark World got more people in seats, but he was so unrecognizable in that, I don't think that people think of that as an Eccleston role.
Which one?
Thor: The Dark World.
No, yeah, no one knows who that is. No. I mean, it's just, this one got this. A lot of people saw him. This got him on a lot of radars, but it's not. I mean, this movie put butts in seats, and it probably paid for something nice for him. So, does he regret it?
Right.
No, because it seems like he did 3 days of work.
Yeah, no, his stuff was all shot in one afternoon, it looks like.
And he went method and learned how to make chairs. He went full Daniel Day-Lewis. And so now he has a legitimate craft that he understands and can do.
Right. And it's called Whose Chairs is his business.
Whose chairs?
Whose chairs?
Oh, man. They do not break when henchmen sit on them. Like, he sells chairs to criminal bosses.
Now, Mark, I pitched this to you. I said, Mark, have you done Gone in 60 Seconds Final Fight? I think I want to do that with you. And you were like, interesting choice, but let's do this. Because here's the bomb I wanted to drop on you.
Oh, no.
I don't think the final fight is between Cage and Eccleston. I think the final fight is between Memphis and Eleanor.
Yes.
That's the final fight, is the car ride back. That car is trying to fall apart and break before it gets there. And to me, the Eccleston stuff just felt like after at that point in time, I didn't care anymore. I was just like, I cared about him getting that car there. So that whole car chase, that was the final fight to me.
Yeah, I think so. And then this was let's get the villain out of here. And then okay, I gotta tell you something.
Talk to me.
Master P and his crew, they're gonna come back and try to kill him. They're not gonna be in jail for long.
No.
And they legitimately tried to murder him.
Right.
The next movie is them trying to kill Memphis. And probably, I mean, they were trying to kill them.
Oh, they were a bigger threat than Eccleston ever was.
Yeah, Eccleston how did he rise to power?
So I was going to pitch you a prequel movie about a young carpenter in like a boarding school with a young Cyrus the Virus.
Oh my gosh.
And Cyrus the Virus would always bully him and belittle him. And so the carpenter, who just wanted to make chairs, he didn't care about villainy, he said, like, I'm going to be better. I'm going to be better than Cyrus at what he does. And so his whole crime ring rise was just him trying to keep up with his high school bully.
And he did a pretty good job.
Right. For doing what he's doing, he's doing pretty all right.
You know what's weird? This crime lord took over his area of town. Everyone's afraid of him. But crime lords always want that little bit more. They don't have to. And that always costs them. It's just, how many times is a soul, like like in Commando, right? We're going to take this guy's daughter. And Commando just, like, Matrix just shows up to the island and kills everybody.
Yeah, blows them all up.
Blows them all up. Just because you want to mess with one dude. Just let him be. He's living in the woods. Just, you have, a horribly trained militia. But they would be alive if you hadn't messed with Matrix.
Well, and that brings me back to like one of these points where like you look at like Dr. No or Goldfinger or one of these James Bond villains, and it's like if you have enough money to wage this war against James Bond, what do you really have to gain? We've talked about this before. Like what's the net gain from winning? Like 15% more? Like what do you have that you don't that you need more money for? I don't understand that.
Oh, man. Just all the I guess when you just want more.
Yeah. Now, Mark, I'm going to tell you this, why this movie is so near and dear to my heart.
Uh-oh.
This movie was released on my very last day of high school.
Whoa.
And so it was my last day of high school exams. In Ontario back then, we had grade 13, which is OAC, Ontario Additional Credit. So if you went to college, you go to grade 12. You went to university, you go to OAC. So last day of OAC, my last exam was done at 11. And then my friends and some girls got in my car and went to Pizza Hut for lunch. And then we were driving back to the school to get them on their bus. And torrential downpour came out of nowhere. My car hydroplaned right into oncoming traffic, and I just destroyed my car. Head-on collision.
Whoa.
Last day of high school. So then, we towed the car home. I get the loving but stern chat from my parents about what happened and what I did wrong and blah, 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 blah. They were very understanding. It wasn't my fault, but I was involved. So we got the car all settled away, figured that out. And my dad says, well, let's focus on something positive and let's go see a movie. So we go and see Gone in 60 Seconds.
Whoa.
3 hours after I was in a head-on collision. So every bump and scrape in this movie was like viscerally real to me.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy. So then the next day, my dad went to a farm auction and bought an old 1953 Massey Ferguson tractor that didn't run. Brought it back to the house, and he said to me, son, I'm going to help you rebuild your car before you go to college this summer. But before we turn any wrenches on that car, you and I are going to get this tractor running first. So we had to fix this tractor, get it going, and then we could work on my car. So we got his tractor running, and we named it Elner.
Wow. Oh, that's cool.
Because Gone in 60 Seconds.
That's amazing.
Right?
Oh, that's nice.
So that was my Gone in 60 Seconds, like, emotional connection story.
Well, I'm glad we got that out there for this final fight. Now, I want to talk about three things in this. I know we don't want to go too long, but there's three things I want to talk about.
Yeah, we need to be gone in 20 minutes here.
When he is caught, I like when he sees Eleanor being destroyed and he goes, unicorn. And then the henchman goes, what? The henchman gets so mad that Nicolas Cage says unicorn. That makes me very happy. And then when Delroy Lindo is cornered by Raymond the Carpenter Calitri, he's like, you don't want to kill me, you'll be killing a cop. And he goes, yeah, I do. Calitri's like, yeah, I want to kill you. Amazing. Then Amazing. I love when Nick Cage is threatening to break the chair or whatever it is, and Calitri's like, no, and he breaks it. And he's like, no. His heart is breaking for this chair that he spent 50 hours on. That's a good bit.
The chair smash is my favorite moment in the movie.
Yep.
It's the first time that I thought Calitri was real.
Yeah, a character, because he loves his stuff. And there should have been more of that. He should have shot a henchman for breaking a chair. He should have a baseball bat or a spear of wood that he took, or a stake. Just something, anything.
I think that he should have had his own car. Like I thought if he's his own car, but he was very specific about his car, and yeah, it could have been wood paneling on it or like wood dashboard or something, but like, and then there could have been a Memphis Raines Calitri car chase at the end with Elner.
Oh yeah, and right? This is how it ends. They get out their car, and no, that's not how it ends. But I just want a sander. Like I just want Cage, Memphis Raines, taking a piece of sandpaper and just rubbing it on Calitri's head, and just blood coming off and stuck to the sandpaper.
Unreal.
What about that?
Unreal. I love it. Now here's the next question for you, Mark. This is my last question for the final fight. Like I love this movie. I think the final confrontation was, again, I think the real final fight is Nick in the car. But with the Eccleston and Cage, I love that they don't really know how to fight well, but they have moments of it, and then that feels real. So I like that confrontation. But Fast 9 is coming out soon.
Very soon.
Very soon. I'm going to give you 3 options, and you tell me who you'd like to see as a cameo or walk-on in the after-credit scene in Fast and Furious 9.
All right, give it to me.
Cole Trickle from Days of Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
So he walks in as like a driver. He's that universe. Memphis Raines from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He just shows up and he's like, I hear you guys are boosting cars, or you're on my turf, or something to that effect. I don't know how it would work, but I don't know. Or a CGI Steve McQueen from Le Mans.
Okay, this sounds crazy, but I'm thinking about the tone of the franchise. I love Steve McQueen, but I just don't want to bring him back because I just don't want that uncanny valley. I love that though. Nick Cage, I love. I love him in Mandy. I love him in Willy's Wonderland. Color Out of Space. He's been doing great work. And I'm not saying he couldn't fit in this world.
Yeah.
I just think where these villains have been with Statham, with Luke Evans, with Charlize Theron, having Tom Cruise be the villain in like 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
That would just take, no, Nicolas Cage. Because Tom Cruise, when he enters a movie, he takes it over. Much like Dwayne Johnson did with Hobbs and Shaw. I'm a fast purist. So I want Nick Cage to come in, know his role, be a hero, blow up, and then get out of there.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, no, wait. He can't be Sean Boswell's dad. Crap. He's... Whose dad? Oh, wait. He's Jesse's dad.
Yes.
I think Jesse's dad's still alive.
Yeah, because he's in prison. Because when he gets out, we're going to race him.
Yes. And he's done Drive Angry. Like, he's done a lot of driving movies. So, that's it. Nick Cage.
Okay. So, as we were talking, I was like, what about if... You know how... what's his... Idris Elba was like all RoboCopped up in Hobbs and Shaw. What if they RoboCopped up Eccleston and brought him back, and then Nick Cage had to come back as Memphis to help the crew get Eccleston? The
Carpenter comes back?
Yeah.
RoboCopped up in full makeup just to annoy Eccleston. That's all. That's what it has to be.
It's a full prosthetic suit.
So the producers tell him makeup will be 30 minutes, but then it's 6 hours every day.
Right. And Idris Elba had the same procedure, but gets to look like Idris Elba. But for some reason, because of varnish that was in the carpenter shop, they need to cover his face with prosthetics, a metal plate of some sort. Exactly. And then Eccleston's just salty about it and complains. That always makes me feel bad because I have such fun watching Doctor Who that it makes me sad that he didn't have as much fun as I did. Just this once, everybody lives. Right? Oh. Well, thank you for joining me, man. This was awesome. This has been fun. I had to watch this fight. I think we covered some good stuff. There's only one punch, four kicks, and a chair punch in this fight. Yeah. But they hate pipes. We got a Timmy Ollie sighting. We dropped some good gags. We have Nick Cage and Fast and Furious. This is about the perfect episode of Final Fights. It's the creme de la creme, they may call it. Well, thank you for joining me, man. Always a pleasure, Mark. All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for Adam Hodgins, this is Final Fights. We'll see you next week.